Today I'm going to be opening up the Legend Deck 1, the Dark Ren Suzugamora for you. Let's see what we got. Alright. Now, first off, we've got the foldable deck box. This will be included in your Legend deck. Put together for a deck box with an image of Ren and the new Blaster Dark Diablo. Next up, we've got a little package here with the fighter counter and our promo card, Dark Knight Grim Recruiter. This card is only available through the Legend deck and is running pretty high on its own right now as Shadow Paladin's on hit stride. Now let's get to the deck itself. The deck itself is divided into two halves, as was shown on the box. So let's go ahead and open up the first half. We'll start with the Blaster Dark Diablo half. If I can peel this plastic off right now, and hopefully get everything out intact, because bent cards have shit values. Sorry if I can't say that word on YouTube. So then, we'll start off with Blaster Dark Diablo. This is your break stride for Shadow Paladins currently. His Generation Break 2 lets you pay the cost for your Blaster Stride included in the Legend deck using any unit in your hand. Also, when you go and decide to stride your Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo, he allows you to retire one of your opponent's rearguards for free. This ability synergizes really well with Phantom Blaster Diablo, as I'll show you later. And as you can see, we have a playset of them, as in every Legend deck card. However, we only have one hollow. That is indeed the point of the Legend deck. One triple rare of everything. Next we have Bloodstained Battle Knight Dorant. Now you see, Dorant here has a Generation Break 1 specific to having a Blaster Vanguard. If your Vanguard is Blaster, then Dorant gets plus 2000, and if Dorant gets boosted by a unit with Claudus, you can choose a card in your damage zone and turn it face up, which is really good to help keep your counterblasts available. Next up, one of my personal favorites, we have Darkheart Trumpeter. Trumpeter will also require a Blaster Vanguard, and when it's put on the rearguard circle, then you can go and search your deck for up to one grade 1 or lower unit that is not itself and call it to rearguard, as stand, unlike a lot of the past Shadow Paladin cards. However, you don't get a full 4 of these, you only get 3. Next up, we have our Pitch Black Sage Charon. Charon is a replacement for the Stride Fodder unit for the Legend deck. It lets you go and get rid of another card in your hand as long as you have a grade 3 when it's called, to go and get your Blaster Dark Diablo. And while you're retiring rearguards for the cost of a Blaster, then you can go ahead and retire Charon as 2 units. That makes him really useful as well for the Phantom Blaster Diablo skill. Next, one of the cards I was also really excited about is Little Skull Witch Neme. Now you see, this is our Perfect Guard G, but it's unlike a lot of other Perfect Guard Gs. This one, instead of unflipping damage after having a copy of her in the drop zone, you actually draw a card and discard a card. So she's really good for mitigating your hand. And this comes with all 4. Next we have some triggers in this first stack. We have your 4 critical triggers. one, and this is Leaping Knight, Ligand Lumina. And then we have the draw trigger, Howl. Howl is actually a really good draw trigger because he is Shadow Paladin's basically a Bartgall clone. Now that takes care of the first half of the deck. So let's open up the Phantom Blaster Diablo half and we'll take a look at the rest of the cards. I really don't want to bend this half, so give me a second here while I take off the plastic, trying not to bend this really nice stride unit in the process. Okay, we're good. It is out of lay packaging. Oh, false alarm. This little plastic corner is still here. Wow, that's annoying. Sorry if this video runs a little bit long because I'm having technical difficulties. Just 1 second here, folks. I know you're all super excited to see the stride, so that's what I'm going to start with after I get this little plastic corner off without scratching the card. This is not going well. I may edit this part out of the video because it's taking so long. I may not. Okay. It's free. We finally got it out. So, with no further ado, we have your triple rare Dark Dragon Phantom Blaster Diablo. When you stride him, then he has a once per turn act. His act skill lets you counterblast 1 and flip up a copy of himself. If you have at least 2 face-up units in the G-zone, including the unit you just flipped, then give him 10,000 power, a critical, and he gains the automatic ability that when he attacks, your opponent has to retire 3 of their rear guards. Otherwise, they are not allowed to guard his attack. This is the first ability like that, and it's actually really quite impressive. It's like a play on Transcore, and it synergizes really well with Blaster Dark Diablo, who gives an automatic retirement when striding the stride. So your opponent must maintain at least 4 units on the board when you're about to go in stride. Otherwise, they're going to be forced to take that 2 critical. Next we have your alternate grade 3. This is the Dark Great Mage Badabkar. Sorry if I butchered that name a bit. His skill is Generation Break 1, Counterblast 1 when his attack hits the Vanguard, and then search your deck for a grade 1 or lower unit, call it to rearguard, and shuffle the deck. His ability is pretty good because he's an 11k base, unlike a lot of other grade 3s, and his ability also works on rearguard. So he makes a somewhat Maka substitute. You'll see Maka in a second. Now, as I promised, here comes Maka. This is the Dark Night Maiden Maka. When you boost her and she attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 to go in Superior Call a grade 1 unit. And a theme recurring with these Shadow Paladins is that after Superior Calling, you can avoid being rested. Then we have the unit in the set that everyone's kind of unsure about. His artwork's nice, but it's not a big deal since he used to be a perfect guard. Here is Unorthodox Shield Maclear. When the new Maclear intercepts, as long as you have 1 or lower rear guards in the back, he gets plus 10k shield. So he's a 15k guard when you intercept with a low back row. What's nice though is his skill is not Generation Break 1. So if you decide that you want to get in some extra attacks at grade 2, you can then use him to protect your Vanguard. And a 15k guard like that will usually mean a no pass, at least on a grade 2 or grade 3 Vanguard. Now, here comes the Claudus unit meant for the Dorant. This is the Arduous Battle Knight Claudus. During your turn, if you also have a Blaster Vanguard of grade 3 or greater, then Claudus gets plus 2000, and when it boosts Dorant, it gets another 2000, making him an 11k booster at Gen Break 1 with the right conditions. We'll put him right over here on top of the Darkheart. Now we have your starter, Full Bow Brave. Full Bow Brave lets you counterblast 1 at G-Break 1 to put him into your soul and go get another Blaster Dark Diablo if you're currently riding one, or to go get him if you're riding the bot-up car, unideally. Then we have the really pretty critical trigger that came in this set. This is Revenger Undead Angel. She is going to be the third Revenger critical, which allows Revengers to play a 12 crit deck now of their own Revenger units, and she looks really nice. And then we have our last card over here in the set, Flat Bow. This is your heal trigger, a little black puppy. I know me and a friend are probably going to end up replacing him. We're not much for how he fits into how the deck looks, but there it is. At least he's triple rare. So that's the Legend deck, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment or take a look at other Infinity Complex videos, provided we have them up. And keep playing.